All right, folks, in this episode, we're gonna go over how to tie on a wind-on leader onto your planer trolling rig. So you're getting into planer trolling. You've got you a nice setup. You have a 30 series reel, you've got some 80-pound braid on it, you got your nice 50 to 70 class rod, all roller guide. Trying to look to get into planer trolling, and you don't want to do the old school hand lining in. You want to learn about this removable planer, which means you're going to need to know how to tie on a wind-on leader. To do this properly, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need what's called a bridle. This is made out of 200-pound braid. When you make this bridle, you're going to have little swivels on each end of it. They have to run through the guides of your rod, otherwise this wind-on leader will not work. And then you got to choose your leader. Some folks like 60, me, I like 80-pound leader material from ANDE. You can use mono if you want to, you can use fluorocarbon. So the first step, we're going to show you how to attach the bridle to your braid properly. So here we have our 80-pound braid mainline, 200-pound bridle. To attach our bridle to our mainline, we're going to want to use a Palomar knot, actually a double Palomar knot. So we're going to form a loop with our mainline braid. You're going to pass that loop through one of the swivel eyes. And then we're going to make an overhand knot. Pass it through once, and we're going to pass it through twice, just for security. Then we will take the other end of our bridle, and we will pass it through that loop. Pull all of it all the way through that loop, and then we will simply cinch down. And there you have a solid double Palomar knot. I like to use a razor knife to trim up my braid. Now your bridle is attached to your main line. So now the bridle is attached to the main line. Now it's time to do our leader. Issue is we only need 100 feet of leader, and this is 50 yards, which is 150 feet. Solve that problem, get you a yo-yo. The yo-yo's circumference is 18 inches, 1.5 feet. What's that mean? 65 wraps of this on this will give you 100 feet. Let the games begin. Remember, folks, 65. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 65 wraps, 100 foot of leader. Now let's attach it to the bridle and get it on the reel. To attach our leader to our bridle, we're going to use a crimp. We're going to use a crimp rated for 80-pound leader material. Run it through the free end of your bridle. And we'll just slip it down so we get a nice close connection, because remember, all of this has to fit through the guides of your rod. All right, give it a little tug, good to go. So there we have it. Our leader is attached to our bridle. Now it's time to get it on the reel. Remember, all these connections here have to fit through the guides on your rod, otherwise this application will not work. To get the leader on our rod, we're just simply going to drop it, lay it down flat into a 5-gallon bucket. Keep tension on our line, we're just going to wrap it with a rag. Then we'll lock up our reel, get our bridle through our guides. Sometimes when you have littler guides like my rod does, it gets hung up. You just give it a little wiggle and it'll work its way through. Now we are to our leader. This is the part where you want to make sure you have good tension on it. That way when you're spooling it, it doesn't get wound on loosely. You don't have to worry about line twist while you're doing this, because when you let your line back out as you're fishing, it will go out straight. This is not a spinner where you're winding line on like that. All right, we got our leader on our reel. Now what we're gonna do is real quick show you how to tie on a lure so you can get out there and get fishing. We are gonna put a lure on our 80-pound leader. The lure we're gonna tie on is gonna be Not For Nothing Fishing's cotton candy wedge. Take your leader, feed it right through the tip of this 1/2 ounce lure. We're going with 2 8/0 hooks. We're gonna crimp it on again. Leave about a 1/4 to 3/8 inch loop. Crimp that bad boy on. When you look at your crimp, it should be flared out a little bit on both sides. All right, folks, there you have it. Your lure is tied onto your wind-on leader. It's time to throw on a bonita strip, get out there over the deep ledge. Be sure to watch our instructional video on how to make a bridle and how to use a removable planer. This will help you out 100% when you are using this application. All right, folks, that about does it for this episode. We are up and ready to rock and roll. Get out there. This thing's looking mighty nice. Kingfish and some water.